Alright, this is my reverse disc off my Troy-bilt tiller. It's a fiber disc. I don't know exactly what kind of fiber it's made out of. It's almost like some kind of brake pad lining, but not quite as sophisticated. You can buy one for about $50–$60. I'm going to try to make one out of rubber. It's a hard rubber, consistency of like a shoe sole rubber. Pretty hard. Matter of fact, that's kind of the same material that snapper drive clutches are made out of. They have a band around the outside of them. It's rubber, and that's about the consistency of one of those. So that's what I'm going to try to make it out of. I got a sheet of it right here, 1/4 inch thick, actually just slightly less than 1/4 inch. That measures 1/2 inch. So I figure 2 of these sandwiched together be the right thickness, and I can put some glue in here and actually glue the 2 of them together with some pressure on them. And but in order to get this, the inside bore of this wheel right here measures 1 inch 255 thousandths. I'm gonna go just call it 1 1/4. This is the pulley that came off the tiller, off the back of the tiller, and this is where that bushing sits, just like that. And this measures in at 1 inch 246 thousandths. So 1 1/4 on the inside diameter of this would be just right to fit on there. And this does have some rust and stuff built up around here that I got to clean off. And I'll probably chuck this up in the lathe and just take a skim cut across there and make sure I got a real good clean surface right there for my rubber to go up against. And then of course there's a larger washer that goes on the outside here with a bolt and sandwiches it all together. So what I'm going to do is try to make a cutter that will press and cut the rubber over there. This was my attempt yesterday of trying to drill the center bore out with an end mill. That worked okay. I wasn't too unhappy with that, but then came trying to cut the outside edge of it. I did that in my lathe with a cutter, and it didn't do very well. You can see I got a bevel on there, and it just doesn't work very well, and I didn't really expect it to, but hey, had to try it. So the outside diameter of this wheel here is 3,990, just under 4 inches. So what I've got is a chunk of steel here. Actually, it's an old drive hub off a gear train we had, a pump motor coupling, and it's just large enough to go around the outside of this. So what I'm planning on doing is boring the face right here down at least 3/8 of an inch to accommodate the 1/4 inch thickness there to the diameter that I need for the outside here. And then the outside edge, I'll probably thin that down just a little bit and then cut a taper on it and bring it to a point, make a nice sharp cutter. Then I'll be able to take this, turn it over, put it on there, put a press on it, and hopefully press it through to make a nice clean cut. Now that'll get me my outside. The inside diameter right here is 1 1/4. The inside diameter on this piece of steel is 1 1/2. So that's too large for me to deal with to make a double cutter, to cut both at the same time. But I have a piece of 1 1/2 inch shaft that will fit in there if I clean it up. And then when I go to press this down onto there and make that cut, I can clean this up so it'll fit in there, and then clean out an inside bore right in here to a diameter of 1 1/4, and that leaves me just a little edge right around here, and I can sharpen that up, and that'll make the cutter for the inside, and it'll be lined up perfectly with the outside. So then I'll be able to put that in there and press that down. That's what I'm shooting for. How well it's going to turn out, I don't know, but you never know until you try. So let me get set up and do a little bit more thinking about how I'm going to lay this out. I think I'm going to leave this all one piece and just work right out of here. That way if I need this later on for something else, I'll have it. But it's plenty stout to be able to put in a 30-ton press and press to a piece of rubber gasket. Okay, I got my piece chucked up in my 4-jaw chuck, and I set my dial indicator up here, and I got her trued in the way I think it should be with what I'm getting ready to do to it. This outside edge right here has a taper on it ever so slightly. That taper doesn't bother me in what I'm getting ready to do, other than the fact it's hard to center it up, because when I check out here I'm perfect. When I check back here I'm out of round. Then when I get her dialed in back here, I come up here, I'm back out of round. So trying to get these two circles perfectly aligned, it's a bit more of a challenge than I really wanted to get into, and I'm not really that critical over this. So what I did is I came off the face right here, and I got this face running true within a 1/2 thousandths. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a skim cut just to clean this up right here. Then I'll come out here and I'll clean this up, so this will be perpendicular to this surface. Then later on, when I get ready to flip around, because I'm going to have to flip my jaws around, I can't open them up far enough without them hitting the ways. So I have to flip my jaws over, grab it from out here, and I'll be able to grab this surface here, get that dialed in, and then I'll be able to face this back side over here so it's perpendicular to this, so when I press, it'll press nice and straight and even. But for right now I'm going to concentrate on smoothing this side up, smoothing this up, and then figuring out how I'm going to bore this out down to a depth of 3/8 of an inch. And I have to remeasure again. I got to write my measurements down because I can't remember anything. Suffering from C, so I can't even remember the acronym for it. CRN, can't remember nothing. Okay. So then I'll work on boring that out down to 3/8 of an inch. the inside right there I didn't touch is going to be bored out, so I'm not too concerned about facing that off just yet. It is fairly true, so I don't have to worry about high spots. Adjust my cutter here for a different angle, more like that right there. Make sure I can get all the way through without, okay, alright, hit that bolt right there, that's why you check. I'll pull this one bolt right here. These two bolts right here hold my steady rest and my follower rest. I'll leave them in here so I can help keep chips and stuff from getting down in there, but in a case like this I have to pull it. So hopefully I won't get too many chips down in there. Oh, come on up here. Just good grief. Oh, they don't go past that edge. I should be alright. close. Let's see if I can zoom you out some. Nope.